great pleasure that I introduce our first keynote speaker for today, who will share his insights on how reimagining education through equity and innovation can be a powerful shift. With a distinguished career spanning over 20 years at the intersection of technology and transformation, Mr. Sanjay Jain has played a pivotal role in shaping the growth trajectories of global industry leaders, including Google, Microsoft, VMware, and Dell. His journey began in deep technical sales, particularly in enterprise mobility and secure productivity, and has evolved into his current role as country head of education at Google India, a position through which he now leads Google's efforts to empower and transform education across the nation. What truly sets Mr. Sanjay Jain apart is his unwavering passion for fostering equitable access to technology and his vision of empowering India's educators and students to become builders of a better future. He believes that with the right tools and opportunities, we can truly help India learn and grow, enabling inclusive, innovative, and impactful learning environments across all contexts. Please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Sanjay Jain.
We train computer vision models to monitor every major source of emissions in the world.
Pollution levels in Kampala are very high, and computer science has a role to play to create solutions.
One of the most important variables during a crisis is reliable information. To understand exactly what areas are going to be affected, we can then send those forecasts to individuals using search, maps, and Android notifications.
Imagine a system that integrates census data, poverty data, and overlay that with disaster data. Our maps will help give directly target the areas with the highest need.
Read along. It's a reading app for children so that their children can learn at their own pace.
Try to earn more stars this time.
He now loves to read.
Open Health Tech is a suite of open source components for building next generation healthcare apps, secure and adaptable to different healthcare settings.
One of the complications of diabetes is diabetic retinopathy, causes blindness. So we were able to train a model to read these images so people who did not have access now have access.
Communication is a basic human right. I believe technology can help bring down that barrier.
Without the support tools to help their communicate, it's a sense of freedom.
Perfect. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sanjay. I think a longer enough introduction was done, so I'm not going to bore you to death with that again. But I really like to start with that video. And the reason I do that is because there's so much, and if I can really use that word, fear around AI that everybody has, but what we don't understand is its power, or what we should rather really understand is the power that AI has, the power as a technology like this has in the world today. You saw some of the examples that were played around how AI can help with health, with climate change, and so much more. And that's why it's very, very important for us as individuals in this world, especially you as educators who really empower, teach, train, prepare students for the tomorrow that they're going to live into, to hug it, embrace it with a lot of love and openness. In my about 35 minutes of the discussion, I'll sort of take you through some of the pieces that I have learned and spoken about and heard about AI. I'll also take some time to talk about where Google can really help in this space. This was my campus, right? And these were the amazing devices that I had the privilege of using. I didn't have everything at my fingertips. Either you go to a library, read it, ask a professor, find out about it, ask a friend, ask a peer student, and learn. Today's students are very, very different. Give them a smartphone, or we don't have to, they do have it already. They have this amazing piece of equipment called a smartphone, which has literally everything and can be used to access everything and anything under the sun. Be it information, be it something new that they're trying to figure out, a recipe that they want to quickly cook inside the hostels, or whatever it might be. Now, the one thing that has changed, or that needs to rather change, is we as educators, we as education leaders, needs to understand that they will continue to use technology, they will continue to use AI. The only thing is, if we guide them well, they will use it better. They'll use it in the right form and fashion, which will do things good for them. And that's what we'll sort of touch upon a little bit today. And it's a very interesting change of, or events that you see on the screen, right? There were personal computers, then came internet, and we're talking about Jacob telling me he was around when internet was born, and things like that. Then came in mobile, AI, and now Gen AI, right? It's a big, big change. And the jumps from each of these technologies till Gen AI has been quite time-taking, whereas if you look at what is happening now, since Gen AI came in, which was sort of end of 2022, things have changed a lot more faster. So the last 18, 24 months have been phenomenal increase, phenomenal change of what technology has been able to do. I have a few quiz, like all of you love to ask questions to your students, right? So let's start with me asking you a few questions. So how many years did each of these technologies take to reach 50 million users, right? And anybody can take a guess or just shout out. It's not a class that we have to raise a hand, just shout. Yes, how many years? So aeroplanes, how many days do you think it took to reach 50 million passengers? Guess. 20, 25? 20? 68. पहले बहुत महंगी होती थी ना, अब तो हम afford कर सकते हैं. 68 years it took for such an amazing way of transportation to touch 50 million user subscribers. Internet, it was like fire, spread everywhere, right? 20? Okay. 7, a lot less. A lot lesser. Internet spread like fire, really, across the world. Be it any country, be it any region, it really spread like fire. It's another thing that we don't have internet in nooks and corners of our country yet, but it spread like fire. Facebook. Look at the Gen Zs and the millennials start talking. 2 years, 1 year, 5 days. It took about 3 years. It took about 3 years for Facebook. I think Insta is a little lesser, right? Insta is actually faster. Gen AI. 5 weeks. 5 weeks. That's all it took. Reason for that is it is super useful as a technology. The day we started using it in its rawest form in 2022 end, when, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to use the word ChatGPT, but I'll anyways go ahead and do that, coming from Google, that's what I'm saying. I'll still go ahead and do that. Even its rawest form, it was not that great at that time, but people just loved what it was able to do for them, right? Not just in small pieces of writing a few words out to an essay or finding out a quick answer or something like that, but it just the enormity of what the possibilities of Gen AI were, and some of the examples you'll see today. So that's the speed at which Gen AI is growing, faster than any other tech that has ever grown in this world today. So we'll learn a little bit around why and what is AI. How can I use it as an educator? Now, obviously, you saw examples of health, examples of climate change and stuff. We'll sort of dial down and talk about how an educator can use it. And we'll talk about what next, how can you sort of leverage this amazing tech. Let's start with a very simple, nuanced, easy definition of what is Gen AI, or what is AI. AI is basically any computer system taught to mimic natural or human intelligence. At the base of it, that's all it is. Very simple, very nuanced. How do you teach a machine to behave like me, to behave like one of us? That's what AI and Gen AI is trying to do, really. So once you have understood the definition, let's see some of the magic that AI and Gen AI is doing today. If you can, and this is what a prompt is, and we yesterday had a fantastic session on prompt by Swaraj, what's the name? Are you around? No? Okay. By the Universal AI University team. So this is what a prompt is, right? Look at the first one, and I basically put this on Gemini and asked it to create a picture. Right, this is easy peasy, right? Look at the second one. I'm talking Roman Empire, I'm talking the Colosseum, I'm talking McDonald's. That time and today's platforms. Look at this. Look at this. This is the possibility. This is what we are. This is the kind of tech, rather, we have at hand. Let me show you some videos. And these were, look at the videos. Look at the quality of the videos. We didn't break a car. We didn't make the poor doggy swim. We actually didn't make her run that hard. Neither did we create an apple out of glass. All of this is Gen AI. Everything that you see on your screen. That's the immense power of this tech. And the one thing that you need there is amazing and amazing prompts. Your ability to write powerful, powerful prompts, rewrite, tweak, retweak, and this is the kind of results that you'll get. Absolutely, AI is transforming education. There's so much news, there's so much buzz, specifically in the last 12-ish months, right? One or two areas that really are close to my heart is what it can do for children with special needs or inclusive education. You do not really, going forward, would not rather need a classroom or a school specifically for specially abled people. You will be able to use tech, and which is also possible today to a large extent, but it will get further enhanced by leveraging AI so that you can have those kids also in the same classroom, feel included, feel empowered like the way the others are. The other one also is equality. In a country like India, and I know it doesn't apply to most of your schools, but think of government schools in the nook and corner of the country. Think a lot of them right here within Uti or further down, Kunnur and other village areas. They have one teacher, maths, physics, chemistry, English, Hindi, history, sab wahi padhata hai. That one teacher teaches everything. Do you think it's humanly possible? And I know some of you are superhuman teachers, I'm sure you are, but it's not humanly possible for a teacher to teach so many subjects. But that's all the resource they have at hand in that corner of the country. A power of tech and AI can completely transform that. That kid having an AI app on the smartphone could learn so much more faster and so much more better over a period of time. And that's some of the power of technology or AI that can really, really help us. We did a survey, or rather an agency did a survey. This was late 2024. I think they surveyed a few thousand students and a few hundred teachers. 86% of the students, is that the number? Yes. 86% of the students said we use AI on a regular basis. About 24 said we use it every day. 50 plus said we at least will use it once in a week. The same survey was also done for teachers. What do you think were the numbers? And this is 2024 end. 10, 20, 50, 50%? 80%? 95? Wow, I wish it was like that. It's 2%. It's 2%. Yes. And that's the painful part of it. That's how bad it was 6-8 months back. This is August 2024. So it was not too long back. And this is the kind of challenging market that we are in. We have on one side almost every student saying, I will use AI, I continue to use AI every day. We have teachers who are not using it, who are saying, I've not even seen it. 36% said, I never used it in life, right? That's the challenge, because the students, will continue to use. The 86, if I do a survey today, probably it'll be 100%, like eyes closed. I'm sure the teachers' percentage has gone up as well, and which is good. And this is what we are trying to influence and change. But why the concern? Why are you such amazing people who have adopted to literally anything thrown at you, right? And I remember this incident of a Kannada teacher who used to teach my daughter during COVID, right? She was fantastic in school. Then came COVID, and first week on the Google Meet call, we used to see her timid, struggling, sweat her pabro, not able to get sort of that comfortable. Give it a week, and she started singing and dancing on the calls. The kids enjoyed it. She was enjoying it. So you are able to adopt anything. Just throw things at you, you will grab it, and you'll run with it. And I'm sure that's going to happen with AI. It's only about a matter of time. But there are concerns that you folks have, which is genuine. These are some of the concerns that are there. Is the content that the kids are accessing or you are accessing, is that really safe? Is it somebody else's content which I'm taking and putting it across to somebody else or writing it down and scribbling it? Information inaccuracy, bias. Bias was a big one, or rather is absolutely a big one. Is it more focused towards men, women, skin color, ethnicity, so on and so forth, right? It's all about how the models are trained and tweaked and all that. And these are absolutely genuine concerns that teachers have on why they are apprehensive about themselves using this, plus why are they apprehensive about their students also using it. But one thing is for sure, it's here to stay. There is no doubts around this. Whether you tell your students to use it or not, they will continue to use it. Whether the schools, higher ed institutes provides the right tools, provides the right policies, doesn't matter, they'll continue to use it. So it's best that we as educators, or rather you, I'm probably far away from the amazing work that you guys do, but you as educators, education leaders, really start thinking about how AI becomes a part of the curriculum. AI is not, and I quote that in loud and clear words, AI is not another subject to be taught. It is not something that only I go to the computer lab to learn, which is how Python, C, C++, Java, and XYZ was there. AI is not that, absolutely not that. Writing the right prompts should and could also be taught in English classes. All you're doing is writing amazing prompts, like you were writing amazing essays or sentences or words. Comparing data of multiple organizations using data analytics within AI could be taught in a commerce class. Right? So don't throw the kids into a lab just for AI. Include AI into everything on a day-to-day basis that you do. And that's where you'll empower them to use it as a part of their life, because tomorrow, when they go to a job environment, like I am at Google, everything that is thrown at us has some bit of AI in it. I do about 70% of my emails today using AI. Sometimes I'm suddenly added to a mail thread that there are 20 threads already, and honestly, I'm not going to waste time reading 20 of them. One button, summarize it, I'm sorted. One button, reply, just check it, send it out. So that's the speed that I'm able to respond back just by leveraging this technology. There are three key use cases that really we see, or three key usage of AI that we see in the education space. For the student, AI would become, and in a lot of ways, even today, is a personalized tutor for every student. Think of the student who is not very open, not comfortable raising a hand always and asking a question, or there are some stronger students who always look around if somebody is asking a question and he or she is not comfortable. They can ask the same question a zillion times to the AI tutor. Neither the tutor would get frustrated and angry, the tutor would have tons and tons of time to explain, and nobody is judging the kid. Such a beautiful thing. Empowers the kid to do so much more, to learn so much more. And in any form or shape, it is not replacing teachers. Let's be very, very clear and candid about it. It will just transform your roles. You as teachers will and should be able to do so much more. And that's the second piece, right? What's in it for teachers? You do so much admin tasks every day. I don't think any teacher here joined to create a lesson plan, to create an assessment, to have question papers which could be retweaked कि हाँ थोड़ा weak बच्चा है तो उसके लिए थोड़ा easy questions देते हैं, थोड़ा strong बच्चा है उसके लिए difficult को, so have a question bank of like 100 questions per chapter. Absolutely not. That's not what you joined for or took up this profession for. You took up this profession for the love of teaching, for the love of giving back to these amazing kids whom you work with. And that's the time, or that's really the time that will give you back if you start leveraging AI as a teaching assistant for yourself. From an administration, from a leadership point of view, AI and the power of data combined together would be a fantastic use case for education leaders to be more proactive in taking actions. Understand how a student journey, map a student journey, use predictive analytics to understand what is the kid struggling with, pitch in, provide the required help really, really quickly and proactively, rather than thinking about it or trying to figure out only at the end of the year or at a later date. So these are the three big use cases that we really see AI taking up in education in the next few years, if it has not already taken up. I'll play this one. This is what AI is doing to a student today.
Can you help me out with question number 39 here?
Of course. Is this the problem?
Yes, I don't really understand what to do here.
No problem. Let's take this to the blackboard. The key concept here is optical isomerism.
Got it. But how can I tell if an isomer is optically active?
Optically active compounds require a chiral carbon atom. A chiral carbon is one that is bonded to 4 different groups.
Okay, awesome. That makes sense. So how do I apply that to solve this problem?
Let me walk you through the steps to solve this problem.
Okay, got it. Let me find the structures first.
Sure, no worries. Feel free to show me when you're done.
I found 4 carbon chain structures. Is that correct?
Close, but not quite. There are 4 structures, but you've made a small mistake in the 3rd structure. Can you check your work again?
I can't actually find the mistake. Can you show it to me?
For sure. You added an extra hydrogen bond to the 2nd carbon atom. I'm circling it now.
Oh, okay. Good catch. That's actually really helpful. Thank you. So I think this is where the chiral center is. Can you confirm?
Yes, here is the chiral center. Well done.
Remember the optically active isomer problem we were working on? Can you show me what the 2 chiral molecules actually look like?
Sure. Have a look at the molecular structure. I've created the molecular structures of the 2 optically active isomers, also known as enantiomers of 2-bromobutane.
Thanks for all your help, Astra.
What we have done is we've included that model right within Gemini, and I'll sort of have my colleague join in a bit and show some of this. But how can Google help? At the heart of it, Google is a learning organization. Yes, we do tech, but that's more as a hobby. I wish I could say that. But no, so we are at the heart of it, a lot of projects that we do are for learning. People spend hours and hours of time on search, YouTube, and other tools just to find educational content. And that's why a lot of work we do in Google for Education is really to ensure that we keep that soul and heart of Google, to ensure that the tools that we create are really, really, really powerful for learning. In that journey, we have also done a lot of work in AI. And yesterday there was a very powerful map of what has happened on AI shown in the session. But 2 or 3 things that I would love to sort of peek an eye here on is the transformer model, which is actually the T in GPT, was created by Google in 2017. That was the transformer model. Then we came out with a not so good product called Bard in 2022. But we rebranded, we sort of came back, and Google is sort of known for doing that in 2023 with Gemini, and today Gemini is the world. And why have we been able to do this is because Google is the only organization who owns the stack end to end, starting from where the LLMs are stored, which is on the cloud platform, which is owned by us, to where the devices are used, so Chromebook, on which you can use AI, to the models, which are the learning LM models that are there, and the software in which we have literally integrated in Gen AI in every stack. As a part of our endeavor to really make learning possible with AI and not just answering question and saying, okay, 2 + 2 is 4, but guiding a student on how to take their journey, we created something called LearnLM and included that in every product. What you saw in the video with Project Astra is the power of LearnLM, where the model will never answer a question to you, which is exactly what a teacher would not do. If I come to any of you amazing teachers with, say, a simpler problem, I wish I could understand isomerism and all of that good stuff, but let's say a simple problem like area of a triangle, you'll ask me to draw it, you'll ask me to name the sides, then you'll say, okay, do you know the formula? LearnLM exactly works like that. So it does not really give answers, and we have embedded LearnLM into all of the products that we have today. And as a result of that, if you look at any other learning models that are there in the industry today or any other AI platform for learning, it is the best large language model that exists today. We have integrated Gemini into all of our products, be it workspace, so something as simple as summarize an email to respond to an email, go to a doc and create content, Gemini for education, and Notebook LM. If you have not played around with Notebook LM, you are missing out. Please do. google.notebooklm.com or notebooklm.google.com rather. Play around with the product. There's a free version available. It is magic. So at Google, right, each of us have really favorite products of our own. Somebody would say YouTube, somebody would say search, somebody would say VO. But in the last 2 years, this has become literally the hot favorite of everybody. So please play around, and we'll do a quick demo of this in a bit. We have also included Gemini right within Google Classroom. If some of you have not used or seen Google Classroom, the latest version of Google Classroom has so much help available to teachers with AI, from creating assessments to lesson plans, to even creating your own story to play and read along, which is our FLN tool. You would just love the way the product has been designed. We have also included AI in Chrome operating system. So how many of you have heard of Chrome as an OS? Not bad, not bad. I asked in a few other events and they were like, ये क्या होता है? Windows के बाद हमको कुछ पता ही नहीं है. But yeah, Chrome, by the way, for some of you who don't know, is the largest used operating system for K-12 in the world. And some of the reasons why it is the largest used operating system in the world, and it's not just commercial savings, it absolutely has commercial savings, but it's because it's secure. One important thing specifically when you're dealing with kids is security. You do not want them to get exposed to things that they should not. You do not want a bad actor to get into the device and compromise the device and thus the student. So security is a huge, huge play. The other one which is important is manageability. Now, your business is teaching, not technology. I know there are tech schools as well, and some of you do fantastic at that, but you really don't want to throw 10 people just to manage a few 100,000 devices that you have. Right? So that's how the platform is very, very simple and easy to manage. Just a quick example, right? We have 1 million+ devices in Indonesia. Indonesia is a primarily a government-based education system. 1 million+ devices. They probably have a smaller team than the GSIS IT team, 5 people. That's how easy, simple the product platform is. And that's why it's become so popular in the K-12 space. The other piece that I really love is its ability to help special kids. Audio-visual tools are there, visual captions, screen reading, alternate inputs, and so much more that has been built in. This example is very close to heart. There is a kid, and you should find him out on YouTube, called Sanat Kumar in Andhra Pradesh, a part of the Children for Special Needs community. He just wrote his 10th last year, with the SCRT board in Andhra, scoring, I think, 88 or 82%. I could be wrong with the numbers here. And he completely wrote the exam on Chrome and Workspace. This is 10th standard exam on Chrome and Workspace, voice to text. The kid has a neurodiversity issue. At 10th standard, he's this big, right? Gem, and he just now, and I was seeing my WhatsApp, his, like, if I can really call Ram godfather, his godfather has sent a message to me that he got admission in IIIT Hyderabad for inter courses, which is 11th and 12th, right? There's another kid who was blind. She wrote the exam using Chrome and Workspace. She also got admission rather, in IIIT Hyderabad as well. So that's the power of technology to bring in inclusivity, and Workspace and Chrome can really, really help there. All right, this is the last one, and then we'll call Sonia to do a quick demo.
Over here, oh, do you dare, looky, looky over here. Oh, looky here, looky, looky over here. Oh, do you dare, looky, looky over here. Take a look at me. Take a look at me. Make it up as we go. Yeah. Ain't no need for hellos. I know you're watching me. Oh yeah, you're watching me. So get in line for the show. L-O-O-K-E-E. Take a look at me. L-O-O-K-E-E. Take a look at me. Take a look at me. Looky over here.
Quick ones on teacher trainings, because one of the other big things is empowering you to teach kids what they're doing. So Google offers a ton of certifications. Some of them I've called out here. Please feel free to reach out. Happy to share more. Multiple levels of certification for teachers, not just on Workspace and Chrome and other tools, but also on AI. We started with one certification in 2024 early, and then we realized actually there's so much more that teachers need. So there's a separate one for K-12, there's a separate one for higher ed, and there are certifications for students as well on various tools. Super important for them to start this journey to go through understanding the usage and how to use AI. So this is also something that Google would love to offer. Why work with Google? Again, I'm not going to bore you to death with this. One, because I'm here, so you should listen to me and then work with us. But jokes apart, we own the end-to-end infrastructure, which means we absolutely will be able to provide you the most secure, the most private AI environment that is. We do not use your data for training our models. We have enough of it. So none of education data ever, and enterprise data. So if there is a business, and I can tell you the names of Flipkarts, Ola, Swiggy, Zomato, all of these use our technology. We do not use any of your data to train our models. So your data is completely safe, completely secure, and in a very, very robust environment. And it's so simple and easy to use. If I probably do a quick raise of hands, how many of you do not have a Gmail ID? That was the easier question. Nahi to sabko haath uthane padte had I asked how many of you have a Gmail ID, right? So that's the ease of the platform. So using it every day, all you're doing is plugging it into AI and starting to work. Awesome. Let me invite Sonia to do a quick demo. She's virtually joining us from Delhi. We will do a quick swap of the system. Hi, Sonia.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear. Loud and clear. Awesome. All right. So I've sort of spoken about a lot of things, and you have to prove that whatever I've spoken was right. That's all your job is.
Oh my God.
That's all your job is.
I-
All right.
I'll try. I did miss a few things, so I don't know if you bluffed in between, but I'll try and live up to whatever you've spoken. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Sonia, and I'm joining you all from Gurgaon today. I've been told this is a room full of educators who've decided to spend their weekend learning more about how can they add to the magic that they already create in the classroom. So really, really looking forward to the next 15 minutes that I get to spend with all of you. Sanjay's already spoken about the power of Gemini, right? The power of AI that exists within Google Workspace for education. In case that is something that you're not familiar with, when you go onto your Gmail, you see this waffle button, and you have these heaps of apps and tools that are available, which is docs, sheets, slides, drawings, a lot of all of that is a part of Google Workspace, but for education. Currently, I am in Google Classroom, which is the learning management platform within the Workspace solutions. And I now Gemini is also a part of it. So a lot of AI magic that can be created for teachers and taken back into the classroom. And I'm directly getting into the demo. But please feel free to ask me questions whenever you would like to. So these are some of the tools that are available in Gemini. These are almost 35 plus features that are available within Classroom. But let's go with something as simple as maybe outlining a lesson plan. And the topic I'm going to go with grade 6, and I could either take a general template, or I could take 5E, which is engaging, inquiry, all of those. And my topic for today is going to be I think it's the first topic that's taught in grade 6 in IB, that is where does food come from? So I'm going to take that, and this is what my description is for the topic. I could also upload a chapter, a digital book that's available, or some notes that I've created before, or maybe inquiries that I've done before with students. I could upload all of that here. I don't have that right now, so I'm just going to go and create some general learning objectives. What it does is, because I'd only given this much, where does food come from? I could add, India context, examples from states. And I'm going to ask it to regenerate learning objectives for me. And what it does is it gives me some basic learning objectives that map with whatever I've asked it to do. You can edit it, you can add whatever you would like to do with it, and then just move on to describing your class. Now, this is optional. I like to personally do this so that it's more in line with what I would like to deliver. So, let's say class size of 30 students, 40-minute sessions, skills like brainstorming and critical thinking, 3 to 4 activities. Let's see what it does for us. So this is completely dependent on what you would like to create. You could also ask it to cater to different kinds of learning styles, different kinds of learning needs that you have in the classroom, and then let it do its magic for you. So this is what we'd asked it to create. It still can be edited, and here is the plan that it's created for me. For all of it, whatever I had asked for, it's covered for me. See, write down, I especially asked for Indian context. It covered Indian food like rice, turmeric, cardamom, mangoes, teas, etc. And if you continue to move down, there'll be multiple activities available here. Now, what I personally really enjoy when these lesson plans are created are this. Something that sometimes, because I've been in a classroom, like Sanjay said, I've been a classroom teacher, we tend to skip this, that what are some of the common misconceptions regarding a concept. So starting your class with that, or adding this as a little bit of a spice in the classroom, really helps children move on to the higher order thinking space. Now, all of these are available here, and how I like to think of this is a script that's been created for us, and we're all these amazing actors and actresses in the classroom. Now, delivery of the script, adaptation of the script in the classroom is completely up to us, and that's where the role of facilitators come into the classroom. Now, you can take this directly into Google Docs and export it. Maybe also, have conversations regarding this with your entire team. Google Docs again has Gemini. You can continue chatting with it, which I'll just show in a while. Or you can continue chatting with Gemini right here with maybe developing a homework assignment. So I did miss that. Maybe it can create a homework assignment for me. It can also find relevant video resources. See, it's created a homework for. I can create a quiz. So I was going to create a quiz. I wanted a quiz, so I'm going to ask it to do the same thing. But what I want is I want 5 questions. This is my concept. I want multiple choice and I want true and false. And it's going to create a quiz for me on the same topic that I'm uh, uh, teaching right now. And my questions are here with the correct answer. Now here you can export this into forms, into docs, or if you're using Google Classroom, you can directly add this into the classroom that you're teaching. So all of that work of first creating a form and then adding it into your classroom is taken away. And I'm right here. So if you all remember, I had exported the lesson plan to my Google Docs. It's all available here. Okay, now this of course is a collaborative tool. You can add heads of the departments, reviewers, whoever you would like to, discuss this with, or maybe you are the reviewer. So you want to, review this plan, which is, a detailed plan. So I'm going to ask Gemini to review this for me. So I am a reviewer of science subject. Please pardon my spellings. That happens a lot in live sessions. Science subject for an Indian classroom teaching IB curriculum. Help me draft 5 key areas covered in this lesson plan and 2 feedback points that I can share with the creator of this slide. So what it does for you is it's going to pick up whatever information is given here and make that available for your review and for your consideration. So this is pointed feedback. We all have classroom observations. It comes super handy with that. Or if you just want to get into a conversation with the teacher on what could be done better, maybe in the last 2 years, 3 years, you've noted that this particular topic students haven't performed really well. So what can we do? And quite recently, about 2 months ago, Sanjay and I and many other leaders, we were in a room full of discussion as to what do we want human capabilities to achieve versus what do we want AI to do. So as a teacher, as an ex-teacher, this is what I would want AI to do for me. Help me with brainstorming. Help me with areas that I can ask it to work for me and not do classroom work, because that's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm going to do, right? So this is some of the magic that Gemini creates in classroom. There are various other things available. And you can see that rubrics, again, very important for all of us. We do a lot of activities that are needed on everyday basis to be assessed. We want children to be, handy with understanding how can you self assess yourself. All of that. Similar instructions you can just add here and your rubrics will be created. Now, because we have paucity of time, I'm going to now go into the next tool, which is Notebook LM. But yes, I'll be very happy to take up, questions. So this is what Notebook LM does. I like to say that Gemini is more like a brainstorming partner for me, and Notebook LM is like a research partner. So imagine a classroom, and I've taken this topic, Earth's rotation and revolution. Feel free to experiment with any other concept. And what I did here, I took the digital chapter, I took a video from YouTube, a lesson plan that was created, and some other resources that were available to me. And I've added there in my notebook. This is how you can do that. You can add different types of uh, resources here. Now, what Notebook LM does is any conversation now that I will have with Notebook LM will be from the resources that have been added here and not from the web and all the information that's available outside, right? This is a pre-created notebook. I've also changed the tone of this notebook. I wanted it to behave like a class 5 teacher in India trying to teach about Earth's rotation and revolution. And this is so then I don't have to continue defining its role. One of the things with AI is that You have to be very clear with your prompt. Prompt engineering really helps. And the more elaborative your prompts are, the better results you get. So I've already defined that role for Notebook LM. And now what I wanted to do is highlight two areas talking about rotation and revolution. Now imagine another use case while it's generating all this for us. You have results from 30 students of your class for this particular topic. So you add the chapter, you add your lesson plans, you add your rubrics and the answer sheets of all those 30 students. And then have a conversation with Notebook LM on what are some of the areas that are common in terms of errors for students. Or what are some of the things that children have grasped really well? What are some of the strategies you can take to work on the areas that have not been done really well? Now, see, Notebook has given me an answer, and it's defined where all rotation and revolution is being considered. Now, if you see these numbers, and if you click on this, the numbers takes you back to the source, where it's taken it from. Now, it's taken it from the sources that we've added for. So you have absolute understanding of where this information is coming from, right? And what I did, you can save these notes. So I had also saved a lot of these notes and kept them handy for myself. Now, if you see, I had also created a mind map. Again, a beautiful, beautiful tool. It's created a mind map for me, which I can use with my students. I could just download this, give it to my students, and ask them to elaborate on this. It's a technique that's taught to students in middle school so that they learn how to map information. A lot of people would be comfortable with this idea. And imagine having a conversation in the classroom about this. That I've created a map for you, now you work on the next elements. Right? So this is again a very, very interesting feature. And another thing I'm going to show you is a podcast. All the information that you add here, Notebook helps you generate a conversational podcast between two people. And all of it is from these resources. I've already generated one because it can take about sometimes 7 to 8 minutes to create. Let's have this conversation. And I'm going to enter the interactive mode, which means I will be able to talk to the podcast. But let's start it out.
Imagine this, a young girl, let's call her Rashmika, cycling near Kanyakumari. She sees a coconut tree shadow getting shorter through the morning and wonders, is the sun...
Did you observe that it spoke about a girl called Rashmika when it started? It is from the chapter that I added here. So that information has come from this chapter, right? And what I want to do is I want to enter this conversation.
Or is it us?
It's such a great... Oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hi, can you help me understand rotation more? I'm a little confused on that topic.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love to clarify rotation for you. That's a fantastic question. And it's actually at the core of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, that's exactly where Rashmika's curiosity.
So this is not just consumption of information, it's active participation, right? If you don't want children to participate, that works too. You can create a notebook. You can create a podcast, download it, add it into Google Classroom, send it to them through different mediums and have them hear that conversation. We all have different learners in the classroom. Auditory learners are also one of those categories which really benefit from this tool. What I particularly like is that this is shareable within your domain. So it stays within your domain. If you see, I've already shared this with a lot of my colleagues within the team. So they will have access to either the full notebook or just the chat. Now that is also up to how I want to share. But now imagine you're HOD for science for middle school and you've created a couple of these notebooks from your last 3 years of results, lesson plans created, resources created, how that is available for all the science teachers teaching in middle school this year. So they can pick up their learnings from here, or you can leave notes here for them to look at and then have them create their own resources for this year or just make changes in whatever's being created. So that's the power of, Notebook LM. Also, it comes in 40 plus languages, including Indian languages, that it helps you be this, take up this role which is most adaptable in your ecosystem. So these are the two things I definitely wanted to show today. And I will also take you to chat. Do we have time, Sanjay? Can I take another 2-3 minutes?
Probably just 2 or 3.
Just that. Okay. So I'm in chat now, which is gemini.google.com. You can also try this on your phones. You can download the app or just go on the web version and try this. What I want to do is I want to create a video because we've been talking about where does food come from. So create a short video explaining where does food come from. What it does is it creates 8-second videos here. Of course, if you want longer videos, you can always refer to Google Vids. Gemini is in Google Vids too, and it can create lovely longer videos for you to take home and take it to your kids. But here it's going to be like a small 8-second video, which can again be shared with your students. I'm sorry, I should have created and kept this because it can take a few minutes to do that. But what it does is, see, what I've done is I have built connections between the work that I did in lesson plan, the questionnaire, the review work, notebook LM, and now the video. So for that same topic, there are plethora of resources that can be created using Gemini. I'll share this again once it's ready. Like it says, it can take 1 to 2 minutes because it ensures that anything that's created here, does not have copyright issues and is original and for you, and it's comfortable for you to share. Oh, it looks right here.
Welcome. These apples are fresh from the orchard. They look delicious. I'll take a few. Welcome.
Now, I'd missed adding that this should be done in Indian context, but you could try. You try your hands on Gemini and try content that is more contextual for your kids and for the topics that you teach. Sanjay, I'll stop here, but I'm happy to take any questions that are here.
All right. Awesome. Sonia, good job. Thank you. Thanks for proving me right
Thank you.
on all the stuff that I spoke about. I hope she did a good job because her appraisal depends upon this, just in case.
Oh, man.
All right. I love this one. John Ravi, read this, and I'll probably read it out for you. If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. So please don't do chalk and talk. Please use tech. Please use AI. Please teach them the way they would like to be taught, not the way I was taught. At that note, I would like to say thank you. Really, really appreciate all the time and the energy in the room. Thank you.